You probably heard of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Both are retail events here in the United States. Now add Giving Tuesday, but instead of shopping, this day is devoted to giving to the less fortunate. Giving Tuesday began in 2012. The day is dedicated to celebrating charitable activities and encouraging support for nonprofit organizations, and it's catching on. 20,000 nonprofit organizations are now partnered with Giving Tuesday. That's up from 2,500 the first year. The movement has also gone global. Countries like Australia, Brazil, Canada, Israel, and the United Kingdom, and more have all partnered to create their own initiatives and encourage giving. Well, for more on the charitable giving during the holidays, I spoke with Aaron Sherinian, the United Nations Foundation Chief Communications and Marketing Officer. I started by asking him why this time of year is the best time for charities.
At the end of the year, consumers, people are being bombarded with messages about getting deals. We have a day for getting into stores, Black Friday, and we have a day for getting deals online with Cyber Monday. So charities and causes realize there should be a day to celebrate giving and giving back. And Giving Tuesday is a chance for charities and nonprofit organizations to tell their stories, and more importantly, to ask people that support them to tell why they care about these issues.
Do most of the contributions for NGOs or various other organizations, do they get most of their donations this time of year?
A majority of donations have traditionally come in during the last few days of the year, which is why many people will receive solicitations or requests for donations. But why should we wait until the final days of the year when there's really a giving season? Regardless of your religion or your zip code or what you do with your life, at the end of the year, there's always an occasion to give back. And Giving Tuesday is a chance for people to give back and talk about the charities and the causes that they support as well. So it's important from that lens. But more importantly, we're finding that when charities ask earlier and ask for bigger, better engagement, they get smarter donors, people who stay with them, people who care about their cause.
So why not do Giving Tuesday in the middle of the year, in March, in April? Why wait till do it towards the end of the year?
A lot of people in a lot of countries around the world consider themselves philanthropists, big or small, and we see great giving happening around the year. It's a good question, and we answer it by saying we should be giving all year long. The United Nations Foundation, the organization that I represent, we love to connect people with big issues so that they can donate and contribute and advocate all year long. But Giving Tuesday is special because it says to people, let's celebrate and let's rally and let's do it in a very big way to make sure that people realize that there's an opening day for the giving season.
So how do we make sure if I'm donating to a certain organization, first of all, how do I go about finding the one that's right for me? And number two, how do I make sure my money is really going to the people who need it the most?
You know, Asya, these are questions that are on donors' minds. They want to know where their money is going and if they volunteer, where their hours are serving. They want to know how their investments work. So with Giving Tuesday, we have attempted to make available a lot of information, resources, because there are organizations like Charity Navigator who will give you that information. Organizations like Network for Good, they will tell you this information. So through the Giving Tuesday website and more importantly social media channels, we have pushed out that information so it's accessible for people. So they can choose to be smart givers, so that there's not just giving, but greater giving, more engaged giving.
So if you had to give us 3 tips, Aaron, about what every consumer needs to know before making a donation, what would those top 3 tips be?
Number 1, people need to realize that there's a lot of information out there and access it. So as we were just saying earlier, please make sure that before you make a donation, before you volunteer with an organization, find out what information is available online about them. The second thing that I would say to people before they consider a contribution is do something that matters to you. Align with a cause where you want to do more than just write a check, where you're willing to align with it. Maybe it's through your social media channel, maybe it's by talking about it, but don't donate or support an organization that you wouldn't want to be talking about or aligning with in any other way. And then the third thing that I would say is to ask people. We live in a social media era. I love seeing people who, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, people are saying, I'm interested in this cause. Does anyone know about it? What's your experience been? And we think that makes for greater, smarter, more engaged giving. You should ask people. Chances are in your network, someone has already made a donation to that group. What was their experience like?
And unfortunately, this time of year, there's a lot of scammers out there trying to scam people. What are some of the warning signs for people to make sure that the people they're donating to, they're legit?
One thing that we have seen is that people take their cues from some of the big philanthropists. You may not be a billionaire, you may not be a millionaire, you may just have a couple of dollars to donate, or you may want to volunteer your time. It's interesting to see that donors say, hey, where is it that the big leaders in philanthropy have donated? They have done their due diligence. I know that I can avoid being taken advantage of or a scam if I'm aligning myself with an organization like those. Just this morning, we saw Bill and Melinda Gates make a large pledge to an organization. That gives confidence to other people. That helps build momentum. When you see people like that who are leaders in the space, it allows for more confidence for other people to come along as well.
And obviously, not everyone can make the kinds of contribution that Bill and Melinda Gates make. So if someone can only contribute a few dollars, that still does make a difference, doesn't it?
Absolutely, when it's an engaged contribution, when you know about the cause, when you're researching it, and when you're engaged and asking questions and conversing with that organization. We've heard a lot of people talk about Giving Tuesday and how it's prompted volunteer service. It's not just about the dollars. We have more than 20,000 organizations that have been part of Giving Tuesday this year. It's a great number. But what's even greater about it is that there are people engaging with that many organizations, wanting to know more, volunteering their time, giving money, and also just lending their voice to their cause.
And how much has technology, Aaron, made things easier when it comes to making contribution? You don't have an excuse anymore, it seems like.
I think it's made it different. And I think there's no coincidence with the fact that Giving Tuesday has a hashtag in front of its name. We believe that we live in an era where technology makes things more accessible. But there's also a responsibility with that, because it's not enough just to make noise about charity. You really now have a responsibility to go one step deeper in researching and getting the information. It's all in your telephone. It's all at your fingertips. That means that we all have a greater responsibility to know the issues and causes we support.
My conversation with Aaron Sherinian of the United Nations Foundation.